Oops.
What if I fail? Our success is for the future. To inspire next generation, capai impian mereka. Dengan Milo Hands, I steady sampai jadi.
King's citizen, welcome to the glorious haven of London. His Majesty welcomes every single one of you. All of you have been selected to join us in becoming an official citizen. The London Press Company have put together this short film to help with your rehabilitation. All authorities of London expect citizens to follow a high standard of self-discipline and conduct. All authorities of London expect citizens to contribute to the economy and pay their tax in full. To prevent evasion, this will be done automatically. All authorities of Un-London expect citizens to pledge allegiance to the City of Un-London, to the monarchy, and the state. Should settling into Un-London prove to be an issue for you, please do not hesitate to notify one of our law enforcement bobbies. They are here to serve and protect. We hope this film has answered any questions you may have had. Welcome to Un-London.
CP Foundation. Released for public view. Both watching. Do not turn off your electronic device. Both watching current. Do not turn off your electronic device. The SCP Foundation has been authorized to deliver this emergency alert to the general public. An unknown cause has enabled the sun to become a highly lethal entity, which has caused major damage to Earth's population. A living being who is exposed to the sun's light will be altered into an unrecognizable form of gelatinous flesh. It is imperative that you stay inside shelter at all times until further notice. Updates will be posted every few hours. All survivors must obey the following safe advice. Survival safe advice. Stay away from visible light emitted by the sun. 390 to 700 nanometers. Reflected moonlight included. Unless absolutely necessary, do not go outside. Wear thick clothing of several layers if you must venture out. Do not attempt to interact or respond to an individual affected by the sun's light, no matter how human they seem to be. Should you come into a situation where the only option is to defend yourself, use fire or sharp objects. Small arms fire is not recommended. Entities are not affected by firearms, and therefore should not be used. Incendiaries are encouraged if you are in possession of another sort. Good luck to all those watching. Updates are due soon. Stay secure. Stay contained. Stay protected.
This file is highly classified. Any form of viewership must be approved by 2/3 vote of the O5 Council. Further observation must be documented. Attention. We hope this video has allowed you to have a better understanding of the question. Do not speak about this anomaly. Do not ask any questions. Repeat this phrase slowly and clearly. The bodies in the water. Warning. The following file contains media which is a cognitohazardous influence. Should you recognize the bodies in the water, shut down your device immediately. SCP. This is host to mass amounts of corpses. These corpses are of individuals which you do not recognize. Any human subject who has been in contact with SCP-2316 are aware of certain details of SCP-2316 or have been enrolled in can succumb to the cognitohazard.
attempting to come into contact with any and all instances of SCP-2316, such as the bodies in the water, has proven fatal. No records of anyone who has entered SCP-2316 have shown a recovery.
Repeat this phrase slowly and clearly into your terminal microphone. I do not recognize the bodies in the water.
Under no circumstances are Foundation personnel permitted to go near SCP-2316. Remote dummy probes with audio and video recording devices are to be used for observation. Personnel with a cognitive resistance value of 14.5 or above are permitted to review audio and video footage. SCP-2316 is regularly patrolled by combative personnel who have no prior knowledge of...
Repeat this phrase slowly and clearly into your terminal microphone. I do not recognize the bodies in the water.
Hey, why are you cutting in line?
My German civilization has 5 million power.
SCP Foundation, K-Class Event Public Video Archives. Attention viewer, the following video file contains material and information that should only be disseminated in the process of a real Omega K-Class scenario. Should any of the following information be released without the SCP Foundation have composed a message for all living beings on planet Earth. Do not panic. You are seeing what is scenario event. Pay attention for further details. The result of this event includes immortality for all living beings on Earth. However, this should not be taken lightly. Symptoms of the Omega K-Class event are as follows. Injuries can still occur. Permanent injuries will remain. Disease will affect the population as normal. Pain will still be felt by all living creatures. Death will not occur, no matter what happens. Mental health may appear to deteriorate. Take note of the following advice. Be very careful in the near future of your activities. Take note of the symptoms, and look after your physical health. Do everything you can to prevent yourself from any bodily harm. Keep your mental health in a good state. Suicide is futile. Thank you for your attention. The SCP Foundation will look to resolve this issue as quickly as possible. Secure, contain, protect.
What days pushed? Mission arm is S. Okay, I'm gonna get the pro. 9 pro. 2, 1. Houston. Vector good. Ag thought.
This is a national security announcement from the SCP Foundation, Department for Anomalous Defense, and the FBI Unusual Incidents Unit. Over the last few days you may have noticed that the moon has been growing larger in the sky. This is due to the moon physically moving closer. The SCP Foundation and national authorities have reason to believe that the moon has awoken from dormancy and is now attempting to consume Earth. Tentacle-like appendages have emerged from the surface of the moon, and a massive orifice has opened, presumably used to masticate the Earth. The SCP Foundation, Department of Anomalous Defense, and other associated parties are working on a defense plan to terminate this moon anomaly. In the meantime, you should prepare for earthquakes, extreme weather, and flooding caused by the extreme gravity of the approaching moon. Thank you for cooperating. Stay safe, and stay calm. Secure, contain, protect. The following within a file. Server staff. The following message was received this morning from Site 0. SCP-001 has left its location. The gate is open. They are riding forth. Oh God, it's so beautiful. Because of this event's confluence with the recent breach of SCP-995, the opening of SCP-616, and the activation of SCP-098,
Operations Phoenix K class end of the world scenario. SCP-076 and SCP-073 are orders within. Is to be ignored. Temple and be permitted. Dash 14 reported that no such message had been transmitted and that SCP-001 remained inert. The transmission was revealed to have a timestamp several years in the future. All foundation portion of the controlled civilization is noted by Alice culture group and are retroactively altering history to become a powerful nation. When it enters the present, the Day-5 civilization is expected to possess powerful anomalous and non-anomalous weaponry and military capacity. The SCP Foundation has worked with local militaries and the GOC to create a perimeter around the expected location of the Day-5 civilization. The perimeter must be maintained to protect global civilization. Use of weaponry to maintain the perimeter has been permitted. Various mobile task forces have been made immune to the history-altering effects of the Day-5 civilization and are inbound to the location. This will be device and their anomalous weaponry, until the situation is resolved beyond high alert. Thank you for your cooperation at this time. The SCP Foundation will protect civilization as we know it. Secure, contain, protect. The SCP Foundation requires that you immediately take shelter in your home. Do not leave for any reason. Go into dark room and try not to think about anything. A dangerous info hazardous, sapient, and anti-memetic entity is intersecting with our reality. All human thought may be compromised imminently. It is essential that you try not to think about any complex concepts. Keeping your thoughts on simple concepts may slow the mind-destroying effects of the anomaly. However, there is no certain way to provide long-term protection from these effects. This may be the end of the human race. The Foundation and the Memetics Division will continue to work on a solution until human thought has been destroyed. If no solution is found, it has been an honor to serve humanity. Good luck. Secure. Contain. Protect. Emergency alert. From the SCP Foundation. A powerful and dangerous entity is in your area. You must shelter. The entity is a reality bender, which can transform reality at will. The entity exudes a destructive effect when nearby. This effect does not rely on the entity's line of sight. While staying sheltered, you must also keep away from the entity. The areas in gray have been destroyed by the entity. The areas in red are being threatened by the entity. SCP Foundation forces are marked in blue. If you are seeing this message, you are in the red zone and must take shelter. The SCP Foundation is working with many organizations to destroy the entity, including the Global Occult Coalition, Church of the Broken God, Chaos Insurgency, Nobody, Marshall Carter, and Dark Horizon Initiative, Sarkic Cults, Dr. Wondertainment. This collective has been named the Pen Protection Coalition. The entity, which is named SCP-1915, will be terminated by the Pen Protection Coalition. Thank you for cooperating. Remember to stay sheltered and distant from SCP-1915. Secure. Contain. Protect.
Caution. Citizen. You and others in your area of residence are in great danger. Pay attention to the following. Last night, an entity known as SCP-4666 was spotted roaming on the outskirts of your location. SCP-4666 is a humanoid being who can and will murder families and abduct their children. The mere presence of the entity suggests that your very life is already at risk. At the time of viewing this message, the SCP Foundation has already dispatched a task force to contain the entity in question. You and your local residents will be relocated to a safer destination. For relocation details, please pay attention to the following information. Relocation details. Transport will be organized by the SCP Foundation. Bring one bag with belongings only. No weaponry will be taken with you. Any found will be discarded. Pets are allowed to be brought with, but a maximum of 2 only. The location will be revealed once on the transportation. Thank you for your cooperation. Transportation will arrive and wait for you between 0900 and 1100 hours, and will not go any later or earlier. If you are late, you will be left behind. Secure. Contain. Protect.
Attention all civilians. Do not turn off your device. A dangerous entity named the Scarlet King is emerging into our reality. You are in mortal danger. You must immediately take shelter and take steps to defend yourself. If you are able, you should move underground, into a basement or other secure location. If not, contact your local government for information on safe zones. The Scarlet King has manifested. Scarlet King has also summoned different extra universal entities which have been termed demons. You should search if they are nearby as they may only be harmed through the use of silver or blessed weaponry. An international group allied to the Foundation named the Global Occult Coalition is working on arming global militaries and police with these weapons. To repeat, you are in immediate danger due to the emergence of powerful extra-universal being and its minions. Take shelter. You will be informed if the situation is resolved. Secure. Contain. Protect. Please, do not turn off your device. SCP-173 is a statue constructed from concrete and rebar, with traces of spray paint. SCP-173 is animate and extremely hostile. SCP-173 cannot move when in a direct line of sight. As of last month, SCP-173 has begun to replicate, and the number of entities is growing at an exponential rate. There are an estimated 12,000 SCP-173 instances. The area occupied by SCP-173 instances is marked in red. If you are within this area, you should stay inside and follow the advice of your national government. If you are in the exclusion zone, marked in yellow, you should prepare for SCP-173 to enter your area soon. You should also stay inside, set up cameras or CCTV systems, if possible, and obey the SCP Foundation agents in your area. Most importantly, you must remember that SCP-173 instances cannot move or attack if they are in a line of sight. Do not look away from SCP-173. Do not blink when looking at SCP-173. Maintain eye contact at all times. Good luck. Secure. Contain. Protect. SCP-3004-1 is a Level 6 fake entity that exists in a dimension that exists partially within baseline reality, but primarily above it. SCP-3004-1 believes itself to be the deity worshipped under the umbrella of Christianity, but has several extremely negative effects on humans. As SCP-3004-1 enters our reality, it compels humans to perform violent rituals connected to glass, wood, teeth, and the sick Beta-Lucelenta, an extinct species of cicada. The closer SCP-3004-1 gets to fully integrating with our reality, the more frequently these events occur. As such, Protocol Damnatio Advestius has been initiated. Protocol Damnatio Advestius involves the use of advanced technology and the sacrifice of our reality bender to remove Christianity from the consciousness of humanity. This will starve SCP-3004-1, as it will not be able to perform the harmful rituals it uses to gain nourishment. If this is not done, SCP-3004-1 will enter our reality and destroy humanity. The Foundation will protect humanity, whatever the cost, even if that cost violates humanity's right to autonomy and freedom of belief. Secure, contain, protect.
Download your meditation videos and unwind uninterrupted. Try YouTube Premium on us.
Medical Department. P00 is a complex prion transmitted through bodily fluids. Victims of SCP-008 will suffer severe nervous system damage and will gain a compulsion to consume human flesh. SCP-008 has a 100% infection rate and a 100% lethality rate. Samples of SCP-008 are stored in these known facilities. It is also suspected that GRU Division P may hold samples of SCP-008. If SCP-008 comes into contact SCP-008 is estimated to have a rate of infection in previous unexposed populations of 7, meaning one person who is infected will infect 7 others. If a civilian contact event occurs, 7 will be waived. The SCP Foundation may establish martial law of an area and should enforce while terminating SCP-008 in incendiary and long-range weapons. If you can see this message, then a dangerous anomaly is in your area. This anomaly is hostile and cannot be harmed through conventional means. The anomaly will attack you if you do not look at it. Paradoxically, a separate anomaly will attack you if you look at its face. Avoiding attack from either anomaly is therefore almost impossible, and you should hide to protect yourself. The SCP Foundation will soon have the anomaly recontained and the situation under control. Please attempt to stay safe until that time. Safe to resume normal activity. A single photograph of the anomaly has been taken. Know that if you see this entity, it may already be too late. You should try to draw the entity away from civilians before you expire. SCP containment teams should be aware that the anomaly in question is SCP-173, with a photograph of SCP-096 glued to its face. A dangerous anomaly has spread to your area. Follow the safety orders outlined in this alert. Ensure everyone you live with follows these orders. When sleeping, the anomaly cannot harm you if you do this. If you do not do this, you will be at risk of being harmed by SCP-072. SCP-072 attacks victims by paralyzing them, and then slowly removing the feet.
SCP-072 resembles a long shadowy arm which comes out from under the bed. Reminder, you will be completely safe if you cover your feet while sleeping. The SCP Foundation will have contained all the instances of SCP-072 in the next week. Please remain calm and safe until then. Thank you for your cooperation at this time. Secure, contain, protect.
We have some breaking news at the top of the hour for you. Chinese troops appear to be moving into North Korea, as our footage shows here. They're taking up defensive positions. And troops have been spotted engaging in training drills. Vehicles transporting what is likely weapons and other warfare materials have been spotted moving into Pyongyang. The demilitarized zone is more fortified than ever before, and all this would suggest is that war is on the horizon. China are taking part in this operation, but it seems they're helping North Korea, not shutting them down. We'll make sure to...
broadcast at the request of the United States Department of Defense. The emergency alert system has been triggered to inform you of the ongoing situation in North Korea. Chinese troops are moving into North Korea on an unprecedented scale. However, we believe the Chinese are working with North Korea, as troops have been spotted working together. It is possible they are gearing for war, but senior military officials in the U.S. military believe it is a scam. However, the U.S. You should get together essential resources such as food, toiletries, and battery. If you live in a metropolitan area, you should leave the area if possible. And there is no way to survive a nuclear explosion if you are in the vicinity of them. If you are not in a metropolitan area, you should determine which room is surviving the weeks in which fallout is at its worst. It should ideally be the innermost room in your home. Should North Korea also broadcast an emergency message, and you should enter the innermost room in your home and build an inner refuge using non-flammable materials. You should remain in there for at least 14 days with your stockpile of supplies. Ensure your stockpile is equipped to last that long. To clarify, an attack on the U.S. from North Korea is unlikely. It is essential that you do not panic, as it will cause unnecessary chaos and disruption. If you require further information, go to usa.gov/emergency-info.
The emergency broadcast has completely backfired, ruling with massive traffic jams on major highways as a result of thousands fleeing the U.S.'s largest cities, shortages of essential items due to panic buying, and an increase in crimes like theft and criminal damage. So far, the White House has not released a statement regarding the situation.
Well, Biden has, well and truly put us on the brink of war. Mr. Trump now, the man who put us on the path to peace with North Korea. And now the mainstream media's golden boy, Joe Biden, may have doomed this great nation to a fiery death.
Breaking news story. Biden calls North Korea playground bullies in what could be seen as pouring fuel on the very volatile fire that is North Korea. As we all know, channels were interrupted by an emergency broadcast saying people should be prepared for an attack on the U.S. An awful mistake from the Biden administration, as domestic chaos has increased exponentially and people are stockpiling essential resources and supply shortages are on the rise. Why did we need an ominous broadcast for this? It could have easily been left for news stations to do it themselves.
Biden has once again responded to the Chinese and North Korean military actions, saying they are a clear sign of intent and the U.S. will not tolerate such actions. However, polls show the nation does not appreciate what Biden is doing, with polling showing 97% of people think his actions are making the situation worse, and you can understand why. Millions of lives are closer, and Biden is trying to use and might on plans. Many have tried, but made their mind up. The North Korea and China situation is heating up yet again, with missile tests into the Sea of Japan. The Japanese J-alert system was triggered and their missile defense systems were prepared for launch but were not used. Yet again, this marks another perilous advance in China and North Korea's military plans. We can only guess how much equipment and training the military beast that is China have given North Korea.
U.S. Department of Defense message dated 15th of the 5th, 21. FBI spies based in Beijing have obtained intel detailing an operation known as Operation Breaking Point. The operation gives a layout of Chinese and North Korean plans. According to the documents, China and North Korea will attack the United States and its allies in 2 days' time, using nuclear warheads on biological and chemical weapons to war on mainland Europe. An unlikely but hopeful plan for China is to form an alliance with the Russian Federation in order to keep other global powers in line. China partnered with Russia would form an unstoppable military force and none of our allies would be willing to fight back. Mr. President, we believe the best option moving forward is to use preemptive strikes on major Chinese and North Korean cities and prevent them from being able to prepare for attacks on the U.S. While this may not prevent attacks on the U.S. completely, it will force their hand and they will be unable to properly plan their attacks. Mr. President, you will be escorted to your secure bunker shortly and you will decide our actions to deal with this situation. Thank you for listening.
Please stand by. The emergency alert system has been activated. Ensure your device is clearly audible. is a message broadcast at the request of the U.S. Department of Defense and the White House. As of 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time today, we have fired preemptive strikes at the People's Republic of China and Democratic People's Republic of Korea. According to our information, the two nations were preparing to attack the U.S. mainland and her allies. In order to prevent this, the President authorized preemptive strikes in order to prevent them from attacking with any preparation. However, this does not mean the U.S. will not be attacked. Counter-strikes are still possible as we are unlikely to destroy all launch sites, but our actions mean they will attack on impulse. Or advise prepare for these have been still in a way transport people without your own vehicle. You own your own vehicle. Please abide by traffic laws. Reckless driving will increase the risk of accidents, and accidents on major highways will bring evacuation efforts to a standstill. If you are in rural areas, begin to construct your inner fallout shelter using non-flammable materials in your fallout room. Your fallout room should be alone and in your home, ideally without windows. If you have windows, for the windows using non-flammable materials both inside and outside. Move your essential resources into your fallout room. Fill containers with water now. Mains water will be unusable if strikes do occur and will be contaminated with fallout. Ensure your battery-powered radio contains batteries and turn it on to receive information and updates to your local area. The U.S. military and government are working to ensure that the U.S. remains as safe as possible and the threat of China and North Korea is kept to a minimum. Remain calm. Take the necessary you and your safe, and remain alert for further information.
Nuclear strikes from North Korea have been detected. Seek immediate shelter. Evacuate now. Nuclear strikes from North Korea have been detected. Seek immediate shelter.
Nuclear strikes have been fired at the United States. Seek immediate shelter now. Strikes have been fired at the following locations: Los Angeles, San Diego, San Jose, San Francisco, and Fresno. If you are in these areas, evacuate now. If you do not have a vehicle, public transport will aid in evacuation efforts. If you are not in these cities, enter your inner fallout refuge. Ensure you have essential materials, such as food, water, medicine, toiletries, and clothing is to last a minimum of 14 days, and a battery-powered radio with spare batteries. Other cities on the West Coast are being evacuated in case strikes are launched at those cities. You must enter your fallout refuge. Fallout are radioactive particles created by nuclear explosion that travels for hundreds of miles. Significant exposure to fallout causes acute radiation poisoning followed by death. An inner fallout refuge is required as it will increase the number of physical objects the fallout particles have to pass through to reach you. You should have already lined your fallout room and any windows and doors, both on the inside and out, and your fallout shelter with non-flammable materials. If you have not done so, do it now. Should anybody die from fallout, take the body outside of the inner refuge and leave it on the opposite side of the room. Cover it with a blanket or cloth if possible. Once the 14 days have passed, you will be able to take the body outside and dispose of it properly. Pets should be euthanized. They require additional resources, and you cannot afford to waste them. Euthanize your pets as painlessly as possible, and take them outside. Once the 14 days have passed, you will be able to dispose of the body properly. Radios will inform you when it is safe to go outside. Until you are told, do not go outside. Fallout sticks to clothing, and by going outside you endanger yourself and your families. Strikes will impact within the next 25 minutes.
Nuclear strikes from North Korea have been detected. Seek immediate shelter. Evacuate now. Nuclear strikes from North Korea have been detected. Seek immediate shelter. Evacuate now. Nuclear strikes from North Korea have been detected. Seek immediate shelter. Evacuate now.
区250英里范围内，请使用随时可用的材料在您的房屋中建一个避难所，确保您拥有必要的材料，最好是食物、水和卫生用品，以在庇护所中生存14天。中国政府祝您好运，谢谢，再见。
The U.S. Department of Defense has authorized this civil danger warning. Nuclear strikes have been fired at the city of Chicago from China and North Korea. You are advised to evacuate immediately. Anyone within a 5-mile radius of the city should evacuate now. There is no way to survive if you are within the radius of the blast. If you have a vehicle, evacuate now. Radio stations will inform you of the location of federally set up refuge points where you will be provided with food, water, and shelter. If you do not have a vehicle, public transport will evacuate citizens. If you have a car, all traffic laws hold up evacuation efforts and prevent people from leaving the time. The U.S. military to make strikes up to 30 minutes. Changes occurring between the U.S. and Chinese and North Korean partnership. Various laws such as Korea destroyed as the U.S. have not responded to these changes. Other nations have not responded. Attacks from China and North Korea. The U.S. has reached out to folks in the UK, but have been informed that they do not wish to involve themselves in this crisis.
Nuclear strikes have been fired at Miami from China. Evacuate now. Seek shelter immediately. Anyone within a 5-mile radius of Miami is at risk of death from the extreme heat, light, and blast of the warhead. Anyone within a 25-mile radius should also evacuate, as fallout will be so potent that an inner refuge will not suffice. Being assisted. Refuge points have been set up in the state of Florida, and to these points will go and it is vital that you do not go to these refuge points if you are within a safe radius of the city and have supplies. Refuge points are designed for people without supplies or shelter, and to use these points when you have supplies and shelter of your own would be to deny someone who needs these services. The U.S. are deploying counterstrikes at various Chinese cities. Major nuclear exchanges are now occurring.
Nuclear exchanges are occurring between and Korea. Major cities have suffered nuclear attacks. China have suffered attacks on Shanghai, Beijing, Tianjin, Shenzhen, and Guangzhou. The U.S. has suffered strikes in various major cities, such as Los Angeles, Chicago, Phoenix, and Houston. Figures detailing the number of deaths and injuries do not exist, but are both estimated to
Message dated 19. We have determined that the contingency war, aptly named Armageddon, was in 2015 to be used for situations exactly like this. North Korea is the target, as they are the weak link. Mr. President, is 강타할 것으로 예상됩니다. 즉시 도망가는 것이 좋습니다. 우리의 영광스러운 지도자 김정은은 평양에 있지 않으며 완벽하게 안전합니다. 우리는 두려움과 의로움으로 미국 정권을 반격하고 억압적이고 역겨운 미국을 물리칠 것은 당신의 죽음이 미국에 대한 우리의 영광스러운 복수를 불러일으킬 것이라는 것을 알고 당신의 마지막 순간의 위로를 구합니다.我们非常遗憾地报告，我们在朝鲜的朋友被杀害了。美国在首都发射了一场强大的核弹头，摧毁了它。数百万人丧生，基础设施严重受损。结果，他们的人和我们的伟大盟友他希望按照自己的意愿离开这个世界。朝鲜不能从现支持我们必须迅速做出反应。我们不知道美国向平壤发射的威力强大的弹头是同一类武器中的种还是一部分。我们已经准备好了自己的核武库，我们已准备好50吨重的。
Strikes have been fired at New York City. Flee immediately. Strikes will reach the city within the next few minutes. Nuclear strikes create a large explosion that will destroy everything in its path. If you are caught in this blast, you will be vaporized. It also creates intense light. You will be temporarily or permanently blinded if you look at this light. It creates a shockwave blast, which will shatter windows within miles of the blast site. Fallout is the final and most deadly component of nuclear strikes. Fallout will spread for hundreds of miles. Failure to shelter in a small, enclosed area in a low-range central area will result in fallout poisoning. Significant exposure to fallout will lead to death. You must flee now. Failure to do so will result in certain death. China are believed to be the culprits of this attack. We can assure you that we will strike back with full force to defeat their regime.
这是香港政府的广播。我们非常悲痛地报告政府解散。在对中国大陆进行多次核袭击后，该地区遭受了毁灭性的影响，可能导致650万人死亡。我们建议所有幸存者寻找农村地区。城市已经崩溃，您将找不到任何用处。寻找一个小的农村地区，并建立一个庇护所，让您可以过上可持续的生活。建议您种庄稼来维持您和您的家人的生活。中国大陆混乱不堪，人民一无所知，不知道发生了什么事。正常社会正处于崩溃的边缘。估计已经发射了1200枚弹头。烟雾几乎肯定会造成核冬天。全球气温下降的迹象已经显现。不幸的是，这将使农作物的生长更加困难。科学模型表明，到2030年，多达1半的人口可能因核冬天而死亡。
烟尘会阻挡太阳的光线长达25年。其他国家避免了全球性核袭击，但正在应对大规模骚乱和恐慌。许多国家未能控制住局势，即将到来的核冬天将摧毁这些国家。这是我们分道扬镳的地方。香港政府祝你一切顺利，再见。
It is with great sorrow that we report the collapse of the United States of America. After continuous nuclear strikes at virtually every major population center, much of the nation is in ruin. Safest areas for human habitation. You will have suffered from few sources as a result. Less fun. However, the nuclear extremes have created smoke and ash, and they have knocked sunlight. As a result, global temperatures will plummet, and crop will become significantly harder to grow. Temperatures will not return to a normal level for as long as 25 years. It is advised that you build some sort of home in a rural area with natural resources such as nearby. The area has a water source. Ideally, you want your shelter to be as small and as thick as possible, and by better insulated to electricity compared to crop for growth. Plants like fruits, cabbage, cauliflower, until then, willingly the support that you know will be able for you, which is like nationwide. You has collapsed. You can decide we live for will persevere and with the day that we can return while we rise. Will rebuild and rich, vibrant and restore America. Until then, we say goodbye.
を発生させ、まもなく都市を襲い、
contact with the bodily fluids of a zombie. The Philip of life and property. And into chaos as they struggle to contain this propelling towns and cities already reporting zombie attacks. No. But are having more success with propelling the reportedly to cut for the safety of
jadi kesalahan. Yang terbang di atas kepala dan Filipina. Na nagtitipon ng mga bulok sa tubig mga nais makipag 以后将枪放您被感染4分钟内控制您的身体失的体液将枪放或割断 Ito ay isang alerto sa emergency. Ang isang zombie wave ay papunta sa Pilipinas. Kinumpirma ng militar ang kanilang paglalakbay. 如果您可能减少和袭击都军方目前
말을 받았다. 일본 정부는 쓰나미가 도시를 지져버렸을 때 센다이의 좀비 침공이 끝났다고 말하면서 좀비가 수영하고 퍼지기 시작했습니다. 그들은 동남아시아와 남북으로 향했다. 일부는 호주로 수영하는 것으로 알려졌다. 그들은 추적되고 약 15분 안에 부산에 도착할 것입니다. 우리는 부산에 있는 모든 사람들이 은닉된 지역에 숨길 것을 촉구합니다. 모든 조명을 끄고
政府已下令广播此消息。目前，成群的将。
이
scientific evidence to support the existence of such a planet. Simply not real.
Nibiru is a hoax. Nibiru est un canular. C'est un chat.
Nibiru est una... There is no scientific evidence to support the existence of such a planet. It is simply not real.
Nibiru is a hoax. Nibiru est un canular. Nibiru ist ein Scherz.
Nibiru è una bufala.
Nibiru es un engaño.
We reiterate that there is no Nibiru. There is no scientific evidence to support the existence of such a planet. It is simply not real.
Nibiru.
Welcome to the private meeting.
We reiterate that there is no Nibiru. There is no scientific evidence to support the existence of such a planet. It is simply not real.
Nibiru is a hoax. Nibiru est un canular. Nibiru ist ein Scherz.
Nibiru è una bufala.
Nibiru es un engaño.
We reiterate that there is no Nibiru. There is no scientific evidence to support the existence of such a planet. It is simply not real.
Nibiru is a hoax. Nibiru est un canular. Nibiru ist ein Scherz.
Nibiru è una bufala.
Nibiru è...
It's all you ever talk about. It's all you. It's all you. It's all you ever talk about.
your device is audible. Please stand by. Emergency information will soon be broadcast. Ensure your device is audible. We have received reports from the City of London Police that a shooting has occurred in Soho. According to our information, at approximately 10:30 p.m. today, shots were fired on Shaftesbury Avenue. Information is being relayed all the time, but current reports suggest that multiple gunmen
Hello, and welcome to the Los Pollos Hermanos family. My name is Gustavo, but you can call me Sas.
Drag my feet along the floor, then I see you. You're walking across the campus, cool professor studying romances. How am I supposed to?
hours of sleep. I get that some days, not all the time, but miraculously, my skin still looks clear.
Nàng đi cạnh dưới tấn lai à?